Now that we're a week into the new year, it's time to reflect a little bit on all of the great stuff that happened during 2021 because it was surely one hell of a year. Without further ado, let's hop into my top 5 sneaker related happenings of 2021. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel today for this video. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you coming by. If you guys are returning members of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support, and I hope that you enjoy this video, which is a little bit different than what I normally put out. Obviously, the year 2021 was absolutely crazy as the world started to open up a little bit more. The sneaker industry went through a ton of changes and it's clearly evolving at a very rapid rate. Even with all of those changes going on, I was able to have a really successful year as far as sneakers were concerned, and I want to recap with you some of the top moments that happened. Now, these are in no particular order, but were 5 things that really stood out to me throughout the course of the year that I either really enjoyed or really benefited me in some sort of way. Number 1, sneaker conventions, expositions, and events. Obviously, with COVID-19 striking early in 2020, it shut down the majority of sneaker events and conventions throughout the course of the year. Originally, I had planned on doing one show every single month throughout the year of 2020, but obviously when shows got shut down, I wasn't able to do that. As 2021 rolled around, conventions and events came back with an absolute vengeance. I decided to dive head in and hit as many as possible. I ended up doing about 30 shows throughout the course of the year, and I would have to say that a vast majority of them were actually pretty damn good. I ended up having some incredible sales throughout all of my shows, and even better, I made a ton of incredible connections throughout the course of the year. Attending all of these shows was definitely one of the best things that I could do to expand my reach a little bit more. And while I probably won't attend quite as many events during 2022, I can say with certainty that I learned a ton about the industry in going to these events. Big shout out to the folks over at SneakerCon. I did 3 SneakerCons this past year and all 3 of them were absolutely insane. Big shout out to the family over at Kobe Swap Meet. Kobe Swap Meet, we did 5 different sneaker and vintage specialties, and my best show of the year was actually at one of the Kobe Swap Meets this year. Additionally, some other really great shows that I did include Heated Soul out in Arizona. Shout out to the family over from Heated Soul. And last but not least, the folks up from Sneaker Pop-Up in the Bay. I did one show with them in the Bay Area and one show with them in LA, and both of them were an amazing time. Different sneaker shows throughout 2021 made it for a very, very exciting year, but it was also filled with a lot of time on the road and a lot of time away from home. So during 2022, I certainly intend on going to as many different sneaker shows as I possibly can, but I'm also going to be making sure that I focus more on quality over quantity. Number 2, this was a change in the sneaker world that actually affected everybody. eBay teamed up with SneakerCon to begin offering authentication services on any athletic sneaker purchased over $100. Quite honestly, this absolutely changed the game in my opinion. eBay was one of those platforms that, even though it started off as one of the biggest sneaker resale platforms, it became increasingly more challenging to find the shoes that you were looking for because there was no sort of guarantee that what you were getting was authentic. When eBay implemented an authentication service, it meant that you were automatically going to know that the shoes that you were getting or selling were going to be confirmed as legit before either receiving them or sending them out to the buyer. This is obviously a monster move on the part of eBay, and the fact that they incorporated 0% seller fees to begin with was huge. Quite honestly, this brought them back to the forefront as one of the main competitors as far as sneaker resale was concerned. I gotta be honest with you, I really appreciated eBay's services throughout the course of the year. It definitely bumped up my sales substantially and even made me a bit more comfortable purchasing kicks off of eBay because I knew that what I was going to be receiving was indeed going to be authentic. And believe it or not, that kind of brings me to my next point. The number 3 best thing that happened throughout the course of 2021 in the sneaker world for me was I finished out my Grail collection. Now, quite honestly, it's something that I knew eventually was going to happen. But with eBay's authentication services, I was able to complete it a bit more quickly because some of the steals and deals that I found, I knew were gonna come to me authenticated, and it made me a lot more comfortable with my purchase. Two of the main shoes that I purchased off of eBay this year that are worth talking about: the Adidas Vape NMD Green Camo. Now I got these in very, very lightly used condition. There are no obvious signs of wear. There's no heel drag. There's no sole wear whatsoever. These things look nearly immaculate. You can see on the back there, they got that eBay authentication tag, so I know that they've been checked. The cool part about this tag is I can actually scan it, and that will give me a little bit more information about the authentication process. I was super hyped to get this pair. I got it for less than half of what the buy now price is on GOAT or StockX for a brand new pair, and these things are so close to dead stock, it's incredible. The other pair that I got to fill out the Grail collection from eBay, some Nike Dunk SB mids in the White Widow colorway. I've always been huge on Nike's 420 dunks, and the White Widow is actually one of my favorite dunk colorways of all time. I absolutely love the dunk mid silhouette, and the fact that I was able to find a dead stock pair on eBay for about half the price of a dead stock pair on StockX or GOAT, well, that was obviously just a winning combination, and the fact that they got authenticated definitely made me insanely comfortable with the purchase, and I can't believe that I got these for the price that I got them for. The other two pairs that I got that filled up my Grail collection this year were due to meeting people at different events and conventions. These Air Jordan 8 Doran Beckers were a pair that I've had on my mind for quite some time, and I've always been looking to find a good deal on them. Finally, at SneakerCon Bay Area, I was able to find an absolute steal on them, and I even won a coin flip to take a little bit more money off of the purchase. The last pair that I got was a pair of Travis Scott Air Jordan 6s. These were bought from the fine folks over at Firekicks SD at the last Kobe swap meet of the year, and I gotta say, because we've done so much business in the past and we've developed such a good rapport through these conventions, they offered me a really good steal on them, and even though this is not in my top 10 Grail shoes of all time, I really enjoy the shoe, and quite honestly, I couldn't turn down the deal that they gave me, so I had to add it to the collection. Now, even though I filled out all of my Grail collection as far as sneakers that I want to purchase directly from the companies that make them, I got really, really heavy into customization this year, and that's the number 4 best thing that happened to me during 2021 in the sneaker world. As you can see behind me to my right, I have a whole bunch of sole swap projects that I worked on over the course of the last year. All 4 of these sole swaps here I did during the year of 2021, and it was a really, really huge experimentation process that helped me to learn quite a bit about sneaker construction and deconstruction. I got to learn a lot about 3D printed midsoles that Adidas is using, and even implement that technology on other uppers that I really enjoyed but didn't really have a good cushioning system. Additionally, I learned a ton about dyeing different kinds of materials, especially the 3D printed midsoles as well as the uppers of shoes, including this Yeezy 350 where I put a 3D midsole on it. This was definitely one of the highlights of the year. It was a super intensive project, but in the end, it turned out really, really nicely, and I'm thrilled with the results. As I got pretty heavy into my customization, it was pretty evident that I was going to have to build my own sneaker at some point in time. I'm lucky enough to have access to a class at San Diego Custom Footwear where I was able to construct my own Jordan 4. This is the Jordan 4 that I made during my time at San Diego Custom Footwear's 4-day class, which is affectionately known as the Northern Lights. Now, this pair of shoes was one of the most challenging projects that I've ever worked on in my entire life. Quite honestly, it was insanely frustrating with 4 10-hour plus days just to construct this shoe. There were a lot of times where I felt like giving up, but at the end of it all, I'm insanely proud of the product that I was able to produce. This is a shoe that is going to stay in the collection for the rest of my life. The fact that I was able to create something so dope that I'm actually able to wear is so important to me, because it just proves that if you set your mind to something, that you can definitely accomplish it with hard work and determination. This shoe is something I never thought that I was going to have the opportunity to build, but at the end of the day, when I actually jumped for it, I was able to do it, and here we are. So there you have it. Those are the top 5 sneaker related events that happened to me throughout the course of 2021. It was really an awesome year, and I am so excited with how much I learned and how much I was able to become involved with the community. I can't wait to take that to the next level during 2022. It's going to be an absolutely amazing year with only more good stuff to come ahead, but I know that it's going to be a year full of a lot of hard work, and I'm really looking forward to that. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel below. All of that jazz really helps out in building this channel up a little bit more and helps me to deliver better product to you guys. If you're looking to find any of the inventory that I have for stock, it can be found at www.sailboatsupplies.xyz, and I can also be found on Twitter and Instagram at Sailboats Supplies. As always, thank you to all of you guys that stuck around until the cold, bitter end of this video. I'm Sailboat, and I'm out of here.